afternoon, everybody. We're out chisel plowing today. There's that field we fitted the other day here at the main farm. Seeded that to alfalfa last night. So I'm in the 8920 with a chisel. Dad's over at the West Farm here with 1466 and his chisel. I'm getting over there to help him. We chiseled probably about half that field this morning, maybe a little better than half. So we're going to finish it up, move on to the next, because we've got quite a bit of ground here to chisel this year. So we're going to get to cracking on it and try to get finished up. So catch up with you in the field here. This year we're doing things a little different how we normally like to do it. So this has not had manure applied to it yet. Usually how we do this, we have a service we hire. It comes in, they actually have a toolbar that goes on the back of their tractor and a drag line, and they'll actually inject manure with a knife tool through the hose into the field here. And this year they've got 3 or 4 different crews, and the one crew ended up breaking their knifing toolbar, and so we kind of had to pilfer from one to the other so that they could do their jobs here. And so unfortunately all that's currently available for us is a splash pan, and that's a surface applicant device. So we're actually chiseling ahead of that so that when they come in they can splash pan the manure on top. This year fertilizer expenses are pretty high. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world that's kind of caused everything to be really expensive, and you know, when you're a farmer, you're the bottom of the food chain, kind of. You don't have anyone else you can pass that cost on to. You know, we get told what we're going to get paid for the products we make, being our crops or our milk. And then we get told what we're going to pay for our inputs. You know, what diesel fuel is, what fertilizer is, what seed is. We set no prices. We are at the very bottom here. So we don't have anyone to pass that cost on to. So this year especially, it's very important that we can capture the nitrogen that's in our liquid manure that we have, that is ours, that we don't have to buy. You know, we have cows. We're fortunate enough to have liquid manure to use as a fertilizer. So we want to get every ounce of nitrogen we can out of that into the soil so it can be consumed by our crops so they can yield good. So this year out of all years, it's pretty dire important that we get that nitrogen. So I don't want to surface apply, neither does Dad. So we're out here chisel plowing. It's going to make it kind of rough for them boys to run across, but it is how it is. There's not much I can do about it. They had some machinery failures, and I need my nitrogen, so let's roll the dice, I guess. So we're out here chisel plowing, and hopefully we can get enough done today that we can give them boys a call and they can get out here first of the week and get going, because we've been cold and wet and it's getting late in the season here. We got to get the ball rolling. So I'm gonna get back to chisel plowing here. Just want to talk about a little bit why we're doing this the way we're doing. we're finishing up this field here now, just south of the lane of the West Farm. I'm doing off the ends here. I'm on the south side of the field. Dad's on the north side. Well, part way to the north side. He's going to do the end off when he gets down there. This is the only downside really to chisel plowing. This is quite rough to drive over, you know, doing the ends off. I generally don't go real fast doing this. Yeah, it might take me a little while to do the end off, but I would rather take a little while to do the end off and not break something than hog around and end up busting something. But we're getting this field finished up, and I'm not sure he might want to get into another one today yet or not. It's not quite quitting time. I guess I'll catch up with him when I'm done here, but I've got a little bit more on this end to do, and then one strip heads back, and then that'll be it for this field. Well, we might get done as long as that up there on the horizon doesn't come in. It is north of us, but it seems to be having a tail that's kind of swinging to the west of me, so I'm not quite sure where that front's at. If it's north of me or if it's kind of swoops down to the west of me. So we'll see how it turns out. It'd be nice if we get this done. That way we get them boys in here and they can go ahead and surface supply that manure, and we can come in afterwards and disc it in, and it'll be pretty soon it'll be able to be planted then. I would race them to the end, but this is kind of rough. I don't think I want to race. Well, I think that's what we're going to call day on. That's 70 acres. We got 70 acres chiseled today, so that's enough to get the manure applicator's place to put some manure. So I think we're going to call it for the day. It's getting pretty dark. I think it's about to storm, so that, and it's quitting time anyways. So I'm going to pack up here. Just took the tractor down to Mom and Dad's place. Put it away. Dad gave me a ride back. I've got a hitch I need to bring inside. That's another project for another day. But I guess for now, we're gonna call it a day. So. Well, morning everybody. It's a couple days later here. We got rained out for a little bit, but we're back at it. We're down here at the North Farm now, which is Mom and Dad's place. We're up on our hill on Hutton Road. We're getting ready to seed some silage corn here. We're filling our John Deere 6-row corn planter here, some Hubner seed, and we're getting ready to put the fertilizer in and get started. The upcoming footage here, you're going to see where I tried to talk to the camera, but unfortunately the microphone only seemed to pick up the tractor. It wouldn't pick up me talking, so I guess that I'm gonna have to work on that in the future here. I'm pretty new to this yet, but hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll catch up with you guys here after a little bit. ground that we chisel plowed ahead of our manure applicators that came in and used a drag line, and they actually used a culver type machine, had discs that they pulled behind the tractor, and used the drag line and knifed it in the ground. We didn't end up having to get it knifed in, so that's a plus. I mean, it's not near as good as the knifing tool they use, but it's better than surface application. You can kind of see some marks there where they were through here. They kind of did this at an angle compared to what we're doing right now. Usually it takes a minute for that stuff to get dried out, you know, the ground to get dry enough to get on. And I think it's been about a week since they were on this field. This is the first field I'm trying, and so far it looks like this field's dry enough. I don't think we're gonna have any problems here. We'll see that other field they just finished up at the beginning of the week. So we had a total, I think, of 70 or 75 acres we had them run over. So we gotta get all this stuff disced up so we can run a quality mulcher on it, and then we're gonna put our silage corn on this ground. We like to use that for our silage corn. Really get a good yielding crop when you run it right after knifed in manure. So it's kind of what we've always done down here. Sometimes we put it on some bean ground. We've got 90 bushel beans, and that's no joke, I'm dead serious. We got 90 bushel beans off of ground that we knife manure on. So there's studies to prove that, you know, applications where you have nitrogen, if you want soybean yields greater than 60 bushel per acre, you're going to need a lot of nitrogen. And fortunately for us, liquid manure has a lot of nitrogen in it. So when we used it on our soybean ground, it really went gangbuster. But this stuff's all going to corn this year. As I'm sure most of you guys know, the fertilizer costs this year are just astronomical. So I'm going to try to dial back the nitrogen that we normally apply and just kind of bank on this manure we have. We'll still put starter on. We still will put some per acre, but not like we normally would. Just going to be one of them years. Costs are all up on everything, as I'm sure all you guys know. Everything is through the roof, but it's kind of out of our hands. At least here down at the farm it is. So do what we can. I'm gonna turn some dirt here.